Buenos dias, YouTube. We are at Foran Gap. We're getting ready to do section 4. And it just quit raining. As you can see in the background, it's super gray and it's still a little bit of drizzle, but we should be clear. It was supposed to stop hours ago and it's just now stopping. So the lows are going to be about in the mid 30s and the highs are going to be in the 60s. So we are looking good for section 4. We're doing our Guinness thing where we drink Guinness before the trip. Justin is the man, always brings Guinness. That's why we bring him, because he brings Guinness.
Yeah, that's it. It's the only reason.
Yeah, I mean, he's a muscle in case a bear happens upon us, but
no, I'm running.
We got the typical gangsters here. Big D, Justin Sane, and I'm your host, Jimbo. We're getting ready to get this thing going. Let's finish our beers, and then we will head that way. We're heading east. Here it goes, section 4, OT. All right, so we went about less than half a mile, and we've already got to make adjustments, but that's okay. And I just wanted to point out how awesome I think Justin always dresses. His flannel is on point. I mean, look at this. He looks like this is business as usual for this guy.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, dude.
Every time.
You look good in it.
Thank you.
I mean that. Okay, so this is Justin's first night is going to be tonight in a hammock. He's never hammock camped.
I'm looking forward to it.
We got lucky. Fortune kind of smiled on him because Derek's actually got a really nice war bonnet, Blackbird XLC or whatever the fuck it is, and he's got like the Wookiee UNDERQUILT, and he's got a super pimp setup that he doesn't use because he likes the bridge hammock because he's upper class. So I suggested, I was like, hey, we need to get Justin a hammock because he carries like 100 pounds of tent stuff every time. If we can get him converted to the dark side of the hammock world, dude can shave three pounds easy, just so easy. And his sleep is going to be so much better. Oh, I can't wait. We've been telling him, like, you're going to love this. I feel like he's a little bit anxious about it because he's never done it. And of course, Derek's going to have to set it up for him. And, but yeah, I'm super stoked to find out how this works for him. I really think that, I mean, when I changed from hammock, I did tent for years and years. I used to paint water towers. One year we camped like over 200 times in 1 year because we would save our per diem and just camp. And I was always in a tent. I was on the ground. And man, no matter how much you love camping, if you're uncomfortable, it makes it just a little bit sucky. And I just lived with the suck because I was making money. And so last year or a year and a half ago, when Angela and I bought hammocks for the first time, oh my God, I fell in love with it instantly. I haven't been in a tent since. So I think Justin's I think he's gonna fall in love with the hammock world, but we'll see. He's a weird cat. He's a weird cat. Okay, so we got 4.1 miles we're gonna do. We're going to mile marker 73.5. It's supposed to be a two tent camp spot, which might be shitty, but man, this section is really tough to make the miles we want. We wanted 17 miles, and sometimes you just gotta plan for something and hope for the best. Since we're all in hammocks, that ups our tolerance for if it's a good spot or not. There's one before it that's supposed to be a 5 tent, but we need more mileage than that. Anyhow, it's pretty nice night. We stopped at Foran Gap shelter, and there's this dude there from Georgia, and I don't think he talked to a guy in a minute, so we talked him up for a minute, and I made a message to Angie, let her know I was there, and it's just been walking. Derek's got a new backpack, like a UL Circuit, I believe. I'll make him show it to us later. Make him model it. He'll like that. So we're far enough away now that we don't hear cars anymore. It's been a very beautiful trail. We've been going downhill and it's been soft and kind of like there's rocks, but it's mostly dirt. But now we're going back uphill a little bit. And man, so far it is cruising. Here comes some kind of sign up here. Yeah, I'm super enjoying this section 4 so far. Looks like we're gonna make a turn up here left. So we're getting a little bit of a sun setting. A lot of light clouds, I'd say. There's fog on the other side. There's not really a whole lot of fog. But man, that is beautiful.
You get to see the city in the distance.
Heavy breathing.
Yeah, this has been a little bit of a... We're going uphill for a little while. And it's one of those things where you just have to put your head down and do it. But Justin somehow was able to glean a beautiful sunset, so we all took a nice little break, and man, what a nice one it was. The old sunset break. Can't hardly beat it. I guess if we did that in the morning, that would kind of beat it, but to each their own. Okay, it's 7:15. We're at like 71.5. Thought you might see those guys taking off. And we've got about 9/10 of a mile to the next camp. And if we like it, we'll stay. If we don't like it, there's another one in like a mile. So at about, I don't know, 7:45, we should check this one out. We'll see. Okay, we just made it to camp. It's kind of a weird when it's actually 2 fire rings in 2 separate locations, which is actually going to work out to our benefit. There's quite a bit of wind, so we're gonna set up at the lower one and then have a fire at the higher location. So I don't like fire around my tarp and my shelter, so that works out better for me. Anyhow, we're at mile marker 73.5 or 72.5, and this is the camp spot. Okay, so I'm testing out a new product. Today I brought a branded boards kit. It comes with a grill that also can expand, and then it also comes with a cutting board in there, which I'll bust out later. So I brought some steak and then brought some brats too. I'm gonna cook some up. See what this thing can do. This thing's pretty small. I don't know the dimensions offhand, but you get it and it folds open. It's like witchcraft. There you go. Folds it open, and then I guess you lay it upside down. So we got some rocks over there. Justin's over there setting us up. We're gonna span it between there and there and cook up some food here in a minute. I'm glad, because I'm starving. Okay, well, I got the steak on. The only problem with this whole setup is I didn't bring a fork, because I didn't have time to research and find a good one. So I'm using my long-handled spork, so it makes it tough. But it's gonna be awesome eating steak. All right, well, it's 9 o'clock. It is a steady 39 degrees. It has been for quite some time. Derek bought some progeny lights, so we got some little party going on. We got a fire. Yeah, we're getting ready to we just got done cooking, so we are gathering rocks and going to build a wall, because it's really windy, to get more heat out of that fire. So that's what's going on. 39 degrees, 9 o'clock, still on it. All right, so in the time it actually took me to tell you guys how I was going to help build this big cool wall, Justin already had it built, because he's slick like that. And I know exactly what he did. He basically dismantled the other fire pit and brought it over here. So
Why haven't we done
this one is like 2 times better than it was when we got here. So the next people are going to be like, that's a kick-ass fire ring. Anyhow, thanks, Justin. Good job.
You want some, bud?
I'm good, thank you. Well, we did our bear hang. We're starting to wind down. The wind has kind of calmed down. It was super windy, but as I just said, it's calmed down. And let's see, what time is it? It's 2 minutes till 10. Friday, I think it's the 4th. And we're winding down, but we're not ready to go out yet. All right, it's Saturday morning. It is 7:30 in the morning, and oh, we got someone walking through. Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
It's a dude from Foran Gap. Anyhow, it's 34 degrees. We are packed up. Justin's finishing up breakfast, and we will be on the trail. All right, 7:43. It was still 34 degrees last time I checked, and Derek and I are both on trail. Justin was finishing up his coffee. I guess there's a water source right up here, just a couple miles, so Derek and I are going to blast there, and we're going to meet there again. Justin will probably be 3 or 4 minutes behind us. It's beautiful. The sun's coming up. Let me get a picture of this. And this is what we're looking at. Big D leading the way today. at this point. Derek got up early and got his setups broke down, and then went and got the food bag for us. Pretty nice morning in the Ouachitas. We're starting to get some cool views of different ridge lines, like spaced out. Pretty cool. Super excited about today. Today's gonna be about a 17.8 mile day. We chose the first campsite instead of the second one, so our mileage gets pushed up a mile, but we're all big boys and we can handle it. And I made sure Derek got his permission slip signed, so we're all good. It's about 15 till 8. We passed that second camp spot and we made the right decision by staying at the first one because it was small, like they said, and the trees were really close together, so it would have been a real booger trying to set up 3 hammocks. So we made the right call. And we've got another mile or so to the water source, and then we're going to stop there, and I think Derek and I are going to make coffee and let Justin catch up. Justin chose to drink coffee before, so that'll even us up, and then we're going to grab water. So that's all it is. It's been a pretty mellow hike so far from the camp. All right, well, it's 8:30. We're at, there's a sign right there that tells you the spring is that way. It's like, I want to say a quarter mile. It's all uphill, and then the trail goes that way. So Derek needed water more than I did, so he took off. I'm staying at the junction because I am boiling water for coffee. I'm gonna drink a coffee. I just got rid of my thermal my long johns top and bottom, and I'm getting ready to get rid of my puffy. I'm gonna go to my helium, and I'm kind of hoping Justin shows up. That way we can all be back together. In the meantime, that's an update. 8:30, and we're at the junction to the seasonal water. They call it a spring, I guess. So we'll see what happens. All right, it's 10 till 9. Derek came back down the hill without water. I don't know. Justin seems to think that there is a discrepancy in where the water actually is. He thinks it's on the main trail. So hopefully in like a quarter mile, I'll meet up with them at the water hole getting water. Derek's already down to his last bottle of water. I've still got 2 bottles of water. So I was finishing up my coffee. Derek kind of got discouraged with the idea of no water, so he decided not to drink coffee. So that puts me in the back, which is fine. We're all okay no matter what position we're in. I know I feel a lot better with not having long handles on, and I ditched my puffy, got my rain jacket on, so it's all good. The sun's coming out. It feels really good on my face. My pants are just soaking it up. They're black, so it's just soaking up the heat. Okay, it's the beginning of a good day. Okay, for everybody that comes in behind us, the water is on the main trail, not up the spring trail. We're not sure what that spring trail is other than a trap. Luckily, it only got one of us. Lucky guy there. So we were sitting here all enjoying our water and enjoying the fact that it's beautiful, and we were all talking about how beautiful of a day it is. And then Justin was sitting right there and got up and stood on that rock, and his foot slipped, and he's got a footprint right there, and his foot went submerged like over the brim. He was able to make it to there, but now he's got a wet sock. The poor guy can't buy a break when it comes to boots. I don't know. Maybe you should hike in waders.
Yeah, I think
get you some waders.
The good thing is
Waders with gaiters.
these are waterproof, so we're good. Except for they did go over the top. So
Yeah,
it's just a little wet.
And it's a pretty sweet little mildly downhill section. We just did a hill. It wasn't too bad, but you know, you can feel the burn. And now we're just doing this really mellow, slightly downhill. It's pretty nice. It's very rocky. You gotta watch your step. Lots of dry leaves in the trail. But other than that, it's hard to complain. I got a little bit of a lead on those guys. Got a little lead, but at some point I'm gonna have to pull over and take this jacket off. I'm not quite there yet because it is a little windy and it does block the wind. It really doesn't do anything for thermal value. It's more of a windbreak, and it's not letting the wind steal my heat. So man, I would have never guessed when I bought this jacket that it was going to be a, you know, used like this. I thought it was going to like never be used and only be for rain. And this thing's actually super, super awesome. I'm happy with it. Outdoor research for the win. So far, every product I've got by them has been spot on, good quality. And you can catch them on sale. They have sales all the time. You get shit for 50% off. Yeah, super nice. Check out that vista, dude. Freaking awesome, man. All right, so David and Hansi found us on the trail. That's pretty cool. You remember them from last section. It just goes to show that we're all out here doing the same thing, and the weather kind of dictates our schedule more than anything. Pretty cool. Hansi, hey.
He knows where the food's at.
Yes, he does.
We're currently at 77.4. The trail, we've been going steadily uphill and just gradual downhill, so more uphill than downhill. Well, now the trail's like right there, and I know you can't hardly tell, but that's downhill, and it's so downhill you can only see like the first 50 feet, and then it drops down. I'm just kind of like taking a breather, kind of letting everybody catch up to me. Justin is pretty far behind, and I just now see Dirk around in the corner. Our plan today is to go to, there's a spot at 88.3. It's not a campground. It's just a spot everybody told us that was nice and flat and good place. So we're probably gonna have to build a ring and do a leave no trace when we're done. Scatter the ring so it's back to normal. It's about a little over 10 miles from now. I'm thinking we're gonna get to the camp around 4:30. Okay. Because like if we just kept going right now, it would be 3:30, but we're gonna stop and eat. Oh, yeah. So maybe even 5 by the time we take more breaks.
Yeah, by the time Justin catches.
I think as long as we're there by 5, we're fine. I mean, anything later than that, we're still fine, but we'd still have daylight at 5 o'clock. It is 10 till 11, and we've stopped to cook, boiling some water, and today's lunch will be some creamy potato with bacon bits. About 210 calories. It's not huge in calories. This is just store-bought, and then I dole it out by weight, and then I just add bacon bits. And if you follow the instructions on bacon bits, you can tell how many calories it is. So, yeah, that's ought to be good. I really like potato soup. Okay, it's 11:29. Our ETA was 11:30 to kick off, and we're just about done with lunch. We had a good lunch, and we'll be on the trail again. We got about 2 miles to Turner Gap, where we should be able to get some water. We'll hammer down what we got and get some more, and some pretty good section of downhill right here. We were talking about it at lunch, and Justin says that we've already passed the highest point on this section, so there's still some uphill, but there's more downhill than uphill. It's like this section's got 1,000 feet of elevational gain, but it's got 2,000 feet of descent. So it's going to be more down than up, which is pretty nice. I mean, there was a section back there of the downhill that was pretty steep and more aggressive than normal, but right now I can do this all day long. This is great. See, the trail just kind of winds right through there. All right, so we got a pretty good drop in elevation right here. We're all slowing down just a little bit to save our knees. We were about 15 minutes from Turner Gap. Last time I checked, we were right on schedule. Basically, I just picked 2 miles an hour as a number, and it typically will work out, give or take 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, we are at the junction of Turner Gap Shelter, which I'm hoping we don't have to go to. It is 12:19, which means we're 11 minutes early. So we were doing just over 2 miles an hour, even with our little selfie break. Dude, we're like a full 10 minutes early.
We're fucking badass.
We are badass. This has been known. So now we're just trying to figure out where the water is. Somewhere around here there's water, so we're gonna let our IT guy figure it out. Tech support! No pressure.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Prairie
Got
dog
some-
poking out there. You touching cotton?
Pushing it. We got a little Merle. Is that Merle still?
Yeah.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I do like some old school country. I know I probably don't look the type, but it's how I grew up, man. My stepdad was a truck driver, and a lot of cool old songs.
Where
CW.
Turner Creek is about 250 yards downhill.
Okay.
Below shelter, following along the dirt road.
I think that's behind.
So do we need to go to the road? Because the road is ahead of us on the trail. We're gonna figure this out. Okay, so there's definitely water somewhere downhill from the shelter. The thing is, the shelter is on a spur trail that's at least a quarter mile. It looked pretty good. And this way to the road is also downhill, so we're gonna go to the road and not take the shelter spur, and I guess start going downhill on the road and look for, there's a creek. What is it, Turner Gap Creek? Turner Creek. So it might not be Gap at all. This might be Turner Creek Shelter. Yeah, I got you. I was saying Gap and there is no Gap. So we're just kind of, we had to pick an option. I appreciate everybody that comments on the gut hook, but it's not really obvious where it is. Like, I think that someone needs to put on there, go to shelter, then head downhill, or follow the road and turn the way that the shelter is, which is south. But we're gonna find out. Okay, so we took the road south, and at some point we got to where you can see the water. You can see they're dropping their packs, and we're just kind of bushwhacking down here to the water. And this will be our next little water fill up and break spot. Mile marker 80. So we got 8.3 miles to where the camp is, and at some point, probably at 88.3, we'll probably see freight train. He's ahead of us. He started a day early. Stayed back there at Turner Creek Shelter. Okay, so we are at mile 81. We just took another break and ate a snack, got rehydrated. I carried a little bit of water, like in 3/4 of my bag, my CNOC bag, back up here, and I refilled my 700, and then Derek took another one, and so now I'm carrying a lot less weight and I feel a lot better. I was actually starting to get a little winded because I forgot I packed that extra water at the last creek. Water's been a little tough to get. This is one of the ones in summertime when you're supposed to cache water, but we've had a lot of rain recently, so we didn't cache. We don't need it. And then another thing is while we were sitting there, we can hear music and some people hooping and hollering over here. And I looked on Gut Hook, and there's a trail called the Foran Trail, and I actually saw it when I was rolling in because I parked my car at the end. And the route I take, it took me right by this Foran Trail, and it's like an ATV camp trails, which they're basically big hiking trails for ATVs. So I can hear them running. They're down there. I doubt if we'll be able to see them, but they were definitely within, like we could have communicated if we wanted to. It's pretty interesting. Well, these guys are doing something up here. What's going on? Huh? Oh man, briars. All right, well, I'm in the back again. It's interesting with this mini group is constantly changing positions, which is pretty fun. Because being in the front is one thing, and being in the middle is definitely something, and then being rear guard is its own thing. Typically, Justin's like the self-proclaimed rear guard. And there's every once in a while, I gotta stop the video, or we take a break, and he gets up before me, and he ends up in front of me. And it's kind of cool being in the back. Just a minute ago, we went up a huge hill, and I was the point man. And there's a little bit of thought when you're the point man, because you don't want to go too slow as to slow everybody down, or you do what I did and go too fast and burn yourself out. So we got to talking, I got a little lightheaded. So we sat down, took a kick-ass break, rehydrated. I'm carrying less weight now because we killed my CNOC, and we're trucking along smooth. We're thinking it's 2 o'clock now. We're thinking we're gonna get to the camp spot where freight train is at 3:30 to 4. leaning towards 4 now since I kind of leaned us towards a big break. But anyhow, these guys are trucking. I'm following them, and it's a beautiful day.
Kind of like a big one China shop.
Yeah, it is. It's neat how it turned to, like, it was mainly dirt, now all of a sudden, guess what? It's rock time. We're at mile 84.3, which means that we're about 4 miles out. It's about 3:15. So we've lost a lot of time because this has been a real uphill thing, but not super steep. It's just been, it's long and it's uphill. So we lost a little bit of time. We're still gonna guesstimate at 2 miles an hour. That'd be about 5:17. So I think I don't do good at mathing whenever I'm really tired. So me and Derek are a little bit gassed. Justin finally had enough of it. Said, "Look out, guys. It's my turn to be the dude." And you just shit that out.
Just keep moving.
Keep moving, name of the game, right?
Pretty much.
Badass, dude.
Food.
Must have food. Okay, so we're at 85.5, and we just crossed this path with a group of 4, 2 guys, and it looked like maybe a couple of adolescents. And we started getting up there to them to the point where you know, I usually say, "Hey, dude," or "What's up," or "Top of the morning to you" is one I like to use. Anyhow, this guy's like, "Hey, are you Jimbo?" I'm like, "Yeah." His name was Mike. He's from Louisiana, and talking about water because we're running low, so we exchanged water knowledge and went about our way. But he said that he'd seen a couple of my videos, one with Angela and I think on the Butterfield. Oh man, Mike, it was nice meeting you. It's super crazy getting ID'd. Mike's the first one to ever ID me on, or call me out at least. I know Derek had watched my video before we met. I didn't know that until later, but anyhow, that was cool, man. I felt like a rock star for about a good solid 45 seconds. And I'm not sure what Mike meant, but he said that I was very easy to ID. I'm wondering, was it my eyes? So we just sat down and did some messaging. Freight train's at the spot we want to be at, and it's conveniently 1/10 away from the next water source. So we're golden. So we just caught up with a group of hikers. One of them was Georgia, the guy that walked into camp this morning that we saw and talked to. We met at Foran Gap. He was there. There was like a water stash there, and then David, Chris, and Hansi were there. So it was pretty cool because we all knew each other. We had a little mini family reunion, and then we got to truck it because we're running low on daylight and we're pretty low on water. So this has been pretty nice, though. It's been a nice little downhill. I was ready for it. We deserved it at this point. Hike on, people. So I was just thinking about those 2 younger people with the Mike from Louisiana. I was thinking, man, I wish I would have been doing this when I was that young. I'm really envious of the fact that people get to do this earlier in life. I didn't get to do it for the first time like a legitimate trail when I was 48. And it was a total sketchy one. We did it in like super dark on the buffalo, and from that moment on I was hooked. And I've only been doing it just barely over a year. I'm pushing a year and a half, and man, it is a passion. Absolutely love it. And this trail's been a little bit tough at times because of our fatigue level and because of just the steady uphill. It's just a really slow grind. But man, I wouldn't trade any of it. It's wonderful. All right, I'm at 87.3. I've got one more mile. I let those guys go ahead because I am just so damn hungry that I am going ahead and boiling my water. I'm gonna get my food going. It's 5 o'clock, by the way. I got another at least half an hour of walking, and I'm just so hungry. So if nothing else, I'm gonna just get this hydrating and put it in my pack. But man, there's a good chance I'm just gonna stay and eat it because I am starving. I grossly mismanaged my food. I've been out of food almost all day, and this is all I have left. And I mean, we plan on eating it at a Queen's breakfast, so I don't really need anything other than coffee. And I do have a coffee, but I'm actually thinking about drinking it. As crazy as that sounds, I'm just really hungry. I've only got 5 miles tomorrow, so I'm not really worried about that, other than I should have packed more snacks and stuff. And my lunch was a little light on calories, and I'm feeling it. So a month off is really throwing me for a loop. I need to get back on track. Okay, well, I finished eating my food. I had some peppered steak with rice from Alpine Air, and it was delicious. I would totally buy it again. Finishing my coffee. I've got a little bit of coffee going on. And just kind of watching the sun go down. We got some kind of bad news that we were supposed to stop at 88.3, but freight train, I guess, inadvertently passed it, and so he's at 90.3. So this day, originally, how I planned it was a 16.8 hike from last night's camp to today's camp. But we were tired and hungry, so we stopped a mile early, turning what should have been today into a 17.8 day. And now freight train's got us going 2 miles farther than we were supposed to, so it's going to be 20.8 miles. I mean, it should, if the numbers are right. And that's more than any of us wanted. We wanted 17. So I'm sitting here chilling because there's no way I can get there before the dark hits anyhow, and just enjoying some coffee. I was super hungry. I eat. That's what you got to do. I'm cool with us going farther because I don't mind the mileage, but it's on my terms, and my terms are if I'm hungry, I'm stopping. I'm going to eat. If I'm going to stop and eat, I might as well have a cup of coffee. Shit. Nice and warm. Warm me up because the temperature is dropping. But I've almost got this coffee done, and then we'll hit the trail. 6:30. At last check, I was at 88.7, and I gotta make it to 90.3. Thinking I can be there by 7:20. That's my goal. Started sweating out, so I took my puffy back off and just going t-shirt right now. 6:38, and I'm officially got my light on to night hike. I should only have like maybe 45 minutes of hiking. We'll see, but the temperature hasn't dropped too bad, so that's the only thing I'm worried about because I don't want to stop and put my puffy back on. But I feel like I'm doing at least 2.5, but I haven't timed it. 2.5 miles an hour. Anyhow, I'm gonna get back to it. The guys are gonna start worrying about me. So I can see the fire in the distance. A minute ago I was at 90, which means they were 0.3 far away, and I'm pretty sure I can see that fire from a quarter mile. You can see it. I heard him hoot to me, trying to see my location, so I hooted back to him so they know I'm coming. I am glad freight train got a fire going. He said he would, and he did. He brought it all together. Okay, so that fire that I thought I saw was actually my two comrades. They're
Here, you want some light on your face?
Well, just the way you had it was good, because then I lose your face.
Oh, my
and that's
face?
the money maker.
Oh, okay. Here, look at this thing. Look at the head on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyhow, we only have maybe a 0.2 miles at the most, because I guarantee I walked at least 1 point to here.
Okay.
0.1.
Yeah.
1/10. So what's Justin doing?
Getting water.
Oh yeah, so there's a water source here, and Justin is getting water. I'm too tired to jack with it. I'll do it in the morning if I need it. If not, I'm going to continue on without it.
Yeah.
Okay. I hooted, and he hooted back, and now I see the fire. Yeah, there's a little fire right there, and that is definitely fire. All right, we finally found Freight Train. What's up, brother?
Ready? Hey.
Good to see you. Beautiful fire. Got some disco, got some party lights. It is about to get on. All right, it's 10 till 8, and we just got done filtering water that Justin was nice enough to get from a puddle on the way in last night. And we all have a little over 1 liter to make it to, we got 4 miles, so it's gonna be about 2.5 hours. Derek's pretty sore with his knee, so he's gonna try to go slower than normal so he doesn't hurt himself. We're getting ready to head out. This was a great spot. We all slept really good. Justin's getting into the hammock pretty well. He actually tore it down himself this morning, packed it up. So yeah, it's gonna be a good day. We're all looking for a Queen's breakfast. We out?
Yep.
We are out. We'll check you guys later. So last night we got a low of 40, and when we woke up it was 43. And that's 10 degrees warmer than the low, and when we woke up for the night before, so quite a bit warmer. Real nice. Freight Train and Derek both slept without a tarp. I put mine in porch mode, and I slept like a baby. Dude, it was really nice. Right now the sun's coming up, and we're walking this ridge line home. It's really nice. The birds are chirping. The last couple sections we didn't hear many birds, so it's nice to hear those guys. I enjoyed the birds. We're at mile 91. We got about 3.5 miles to go. It is 8:30, so got about 2 miles to go, which is roughly an hour. It's 9:15 now, so I'm thinking 10:15 we should be rolling into the Big Brushy trailhead. It's been a great trip. Yesterday getting pushed to 20, 22 or whatever it was, you know, I feel fine, but I think it was a little too much. We didn't want that much because we know Derek gets sore after about 15 or 17, and we are trying not to push him, but sometimes things don't go to plan, and we're all adults, so here we are, finishing out the trail. And it's going to be another beautiful finish. The sun's coming up on my left side, and I just stopped to take off my last piece. I had a long sleeve top and I took it off, so I'm rolling with just my t-shirt, and the temperature is really nice. A little cool, but when you walk it feels great, so perfect. Just thinking about all the cool people I met this weekend. Georgia from Foran Gap, that dude was cool. He was probably in the 60s, and coming out here and doing this thing from Georgia, that's pretty awesome. He said he had done a little bit of AT also, and then of course you got David and Chris and Hansi. Hansi's such a cute little dog. And then you got Mike and his merry band of hikers from Louisiana. Spotted me on the trail. They were cool, super friendly. Gave us some water info. Actually, we shared water info. Yeah, a bunch of cool people. One more reason, it's not the main reason, but that is one more reason why I'm out here. People you see on the trail are usually pretty cool. They all got a story. It's nice to swap a 5-minute tail with them, and then you go on about your business. But all you guys are awesome to me. I'm following a kind of a ridge line.
be like 99.
So we just found one of those geological markers, and this is one of the few that actually line up with the mile marker on a tree, so this is great. I think we'll wait for the old Gimpmeister to show up and we'll take a selfie. Let me do one more. Oh, that's video. Well, we've got less than a half mile to go. We got the sun down on us, feeling good. Very light breeze. Seems like it's all flat to downhill from here, just mildly, and it has been a phenomenal trip. I want to thank everybody that helped make this trip possible, from Letitia, the shuttle driver, to Justin, the typical fire guy, Sparky as we like to call him. Thanks to Derek for getting here and being a player. Thanks to Freight Train for the fire last night and pushing us an extra 2 miles. Most importantly, I want to thank all my subscribers, everybody like you that's watching this. Man, I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. This was a learning curve for me. I used a different underquilt, so the first night I was a little bit cold because I didn't dial it in. The second night I laid in it and I had Derek cinch it up for me, and last night was phenomenal. I slept like a baby. Arrowhead Equipment, thank you for, they literally, I paid for my underquilts last Thursday and they had them shipped by Friday. I had a tracking number, so they built me 2 underquilts, a 0 and a 40. So Arrowhead Equipment, you guys are awesome. I can't remember the actual name of my underquilt. It's to replace the Potomac. I've been using a Potomac, and they are made by Arrowhead also, but it's specially made for my Hennessy hammock, so it doesn't fit perfect, so this new hammock is the bomb. Let's see. If you find any of this entertaining, man, hit that like. That like button puts me relevant and gets me out to more people. That way everybody can know about the 138. It's a frame of mind, not any one person. We are all 138, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. These guys that I travel with, we all have a common goal and common interest. Sometimes our flight plans don't line up, but we're able to accommodate each other and at least spot each other on the trail every once in a while. And beautiful. You guys, you're the reason for the season, man. Thank you very much for watching. I'll lead you into the very final of this, and then we're going to go for a Queen's breakfast. We also have to work on Justin's car. I don't know if I mentioned this, but when he rolled into that Foran Gap trailhead, his car had been overheating, and he'd probably lost most of his coolant. So we might have to do some kind of tinkering on his car. But we're going to get a Queen's breakfast first. We might stop to see if we can diagnose the problem, because we're probably going to have to go to Walmart and get coolant, and maybe a radiator hose. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to troubleshoot problems when you can't see that physical evidence. So, but hopefully, worst case scenario, radiator hose, which will be a fairly easy fix unless it's a goofy one, which it's Volkswagen, so who knows. Anyhow, I'm filibustering. I'm going to let you guys look at the trail for a minute instead of looking at my face. I'll see you next trip. Next trip, section 5, most likely. Less than a half mile to go. Derek and I are both parked at Big Brushy recreational trailhead, the trailhead area. It's a really nice they've carved out a little parking spot just for us OTers, which is really cool. Or you can keep going around the corner and there's like a legitimate campground. The recreational area is what it's called. But yeah, everybody says this is one of the sections that they don't like because of the views. Well, me and Derek were talking yesterday. There was a lot of views. We had a lot of views of the valleys on both sides of this trail, and I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next time. Only next time I'm bringing more food. Not having enough food is a really bad thing. I got hangry as hell. After camp, after Derek ate, he gifted me a Cliff Bar, which helped me out. Down a road, huh? Yeah. It looks like it's a little bit of a road hike. Is that the deal?
About a quarter mile.
Okay. I think this is that road that goes to where the car is.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's like a little, that's Brushy Creek right there.
Yep. Yeah, we're 0.2 miles off.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
Okay, I'm gonna wait on the Garrett.
Right on, brother. Oh man, you can hear that water.
Yeah, I know.
I love it. Oh, there's some falls over there. There's some waterfalls over there. Love that sound. I bet coming through here when it's warm would be nice. I'd straight jump in that water. Kind of old bridge up here, car bridge, and there's also a set of ladder or stairs, I should say. I'm not sure what the plan is at this point. Be cool if it was the stairs, though. Seems like it's got a blue stripe right there, so I'm gonna go this way. That must be Brushy Creek Trail. Oh, I see my car. Yeah, my car's like right over there. Cool. Pretty awesome stuff. So we officially made it. Everybody's safe and sound, and we're gonna go to Foran Gap, grab the other cars, look at Justin's car, and then go get a Queen's breakfast. Stay tuned if anything funky happens with Justin's car. It'll be an outro to this thing. The Queen's breakfast. A little bit of a tradition here. Still missing some pancakes, but we're tearing it up.